Just a fair warning, this podcast will contain huge spoilers for Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants and Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants 2. So if you haven't seen those movies, just a fair warning, there will be spoilers in the following podcast.
I'm Richard Martin.
I'm AJ.
And I'm David CorrEos.
Dave's here! What? Dave, I didn't see you there!
Oh, hey guys.
Hey man, did you watch all the movies this time?
I watched all of the movies
All
this time.
2 of them.
And you watched the same franchise as us?
Yeah, I did.
That's good, that's always good.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, are we still bitter on that whole? Are you
I
guys
just
still
like
bitter on
to
that?
chuck it on every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
So, this week...
Starting with an in-joke. Alright, let's
This week-
move swiftly on.
This week, all three of us watched the Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants franchise, which is Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants and Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants 2, The Last Jedi.
Why did we watch this franchise?
Because it was randomly selected
On which... What are we doing right now?
a podcast.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this podcast, what's the podcast called?
Well, it's kind of weird. If you're listening
Yeah.
on iTunes, it's probably called the Cult Popture Podcast.
Yeah. If you're listening on YouTube, it's called Film Franchise Fortnights, but it's on the Cult Popture channel.
Yeah.
So this is a podcast where usually just me and Richard, but Dave's joined us today, watch a randomly selected film franchise every fortnight. And now I think everyone's up to speed. If this is your first episode, welcome. I hope you like us.
Yeah.
I hope you like me. I hope if one of us has to play the villain, that it's not me.
I'm not here that often, so if you like me, oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be back for a while.
But you can see Dave do live comedy quite often.
Well, Dave could be like, Dave, you should try and make this the worst, performance you've ever done, so that people won't be disappointed when you're not back next week.
So you just want me to not say anything throughout the podcast? He was disposable.
You can say things, but if you just say racist and sexist things.
Speaking of sexism,
The Sister of the Travelling Pants came out it consists of 2 films that came out in 2005 and 2008.
was it really only that long
Yeah.
between the 2 of them?
Yeah, so
I was a kid when the first one came out and a teenager when the second one came out.
Wow.
That's why it feels weird.
So the first one was directed by Ken Kwapis. Kwapis.
What else did he do?
I looked at it, there was nothing interesting.
Okay.
And then the second one was directed by Sana Hamri, who's a woman.
Okay.
Don't get a lot of female directors
Yeah.
for some reason.
The films star Amber Tamblyn.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, can I get you to read the cast list?
Okay.
She's from Joan of Arcadia, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we've got Amber Tamblyn. She plays Tibby, or as we called her, Joan of Arcadia.
Yep.
Alexis Bledel.
Oh, she's off Gossip Girl, eh?
No, she's off Gilmore Girls.
Oh, Gilmore Girl, sorry.
She
Yeah.
played Lena. She's Rory Gilmore. America Ferrera
Oh,
played...
she's from Ugly Betty, eh?
Yeah, she's Ugly Betty. She played Carmen. And Blake Lively played Bridget and also played Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl.
Yep.
Although there's some debate as to whether she was actually the Gossip Girl. Do you want to weigh in, Dave?
I'm just surprised that like all of the female leads had like their own kind of show as well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think if they had... Ugly
yeah.
Ugly Betty was after, wasn't she?
No.
She wasn't? No. So that they were all like tent poles by the time.
Yeah, well, was Gossip Girl out?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Do you know Alexis Bledel is 6 years older than Blake Lively?
Wow.
And they're both supposed to be 19 in the film.
Wow.
Wow.
You
That
wouldn't-
blows my mind because they look both. I thought Blake Lively was older.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like the oldest one, eh?
But that's because I think that's just because she's taller than...
Yeah.
When does that stop being a thing? When you're like, well, you're taller than me, so I guess you must be older and wiser
Well,
than me.
for me, it kind of stopped a while ago.
How tall are you, AJ?
I think last time I checked, I think I'm 5'2", for those of you listening at home. I'm absurdly short for a 23-year-old man.
I feel like you, if you were an animal, you would be a nerdy turtle boy.
I'd be a
A
lion,
nerdy turtle boy.
a big, strong lion.
That'd be a good name for your stand-up special.
What?
Nerdy turtle boy.
Oh, and it got self-indulgent. Okay.
I didn't take it there. All right.
it would be.
Yeah,
Sisterhood.
but no one really cares about.
I like to think that-
No, we're Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants is what
Yeah.
we're talking about
Sisterhood
right
of
now.
the Traveling Plants. Imagine that movie. They're like, we found this beautiful rose, and we're going. No, what's funnier than a rose? Come on, let's work.
A
Japanese
deciduous
peace
tree.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Deciduous Tree.
Why does it always smell like my little brother's room?
So, AJ, do you want to run us briefly through the plot of the films?
Yes, so they're based on books, I believe.
Yes. And now books are...
They're made of paper.
Yeah. Whereas films are...
Made of I don't know how to equalize that.
Are the books good? Do you guys know anything about the books?
I imagine they're popular with their demographic.
So they're called something like The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants,
Yep.
The Second Summer of the Pants,
Right.
The Third Summer of the Pants,
I thought it was of the
Forever
Sisterhood.
of the Sisterhood, the Forever in Blue, The
Yeah.
Fourth Summer of the Sisterhood,
Right, of course.
and Forever Sisterhood,
Okay.
or something like, I don't know.
Um,
Don't fact check that.
So the film follows the first film follows a group of teenage girls who are they're right at the end of high school. They've got summer ahead of them, and they're all going to like different places for the summer. And before this happens, before they all break up, they discover a pair of jeans at a thrift shop that amazingly fits them all, despite the fact that they all have different body types. So they decide to make a sisterhood where they will mail the pants to each other throughout that summer, believing that the pants hold some kind of charm because they fit all these different women.
Because of course this film has to be about a male.
Why? What do you mean?
Like, they mail the pants to each other.
Richard, do you notice something really cool when they first introduced the pants and they're
Yeah.
all trying them on? What was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like, it was pretty great. So Blake Lively is like tall and slim, and then America Ferrera is like the shortest one, and she's like, the whole joke is that they even fit America Ferrera, even though she's, sorry, Ugly Betty, even though she's like, oh, I got all of this, and she like grabs her thighs. And then they, in one shot, take the pants off Blake Lively, off a Gossip Girl, hand them to Ugly Betty, and she puts them on, and they fit both of them.
Yeah, and I imagine when the audience watched this film for the first time, the like book fans who are like holding out for this movie, they saw that one unbroken shot and went like, "Oh shit, this is it, man!" This is like...
Because it's so easy to just get 4 pairs of pants that fit the girls.
Yeah, exactly.
I honestly don't know how they did that. I tried to find, but then there's no information on this film because no one cares about it.
Do you think it could have been like jeggings? Like they could have just been like...
Yeah, I don't reckon they're real denim. Controversial. I know. I don't reckon they're real
yeah.
denim. I reckon that's the way. That would be imitation denim.
Or like Ugly Betty just
Polyester?
lost heaps of weight
Yeah,
for that scene.
yeah.
That scene was filmed months later, and they CGI'd it. Maybe they just CGI.
Or
things.
they just cropped the split screen.
Oh yeah,
That
something
could
like
be
that.
it. Well, it's just like intense special effects. It's like it's got like a
Half the budget went to that shit.
They got Sam Raimi in. They're like, "Hey, we have this one scene, and we heard you do good things."
and to just briefly go over the film, I'm sure we'll talk about it more. In the first film, Gilmore Girls goes to Greece and meets the love of her life. Gossip Girl goes to, I want to say Spain, but I'm not sure. She plays soccer and falls in love with her coach. America
I don't
Ferrera.
remember that at all.
I don't remember that at all as well.
America Ferrera goes
Ugly
to Ugly Betty. I apologize. Ugly Betty goes to South Carolina to see her father, who turns out to be that he's getting remarried, and she has a problem with that because she doesn't like the family that he's marrying into. And Joan of Arcadia stays home, and she's a film buff. She's a videographer. She's a budding videographer, and she meets a little girl who she starts filming a documentary with. Turns out the little girl has leukemia, and during these 4 separate stories, we watch the pants arrive, and because the pants arrive, something good happens.
Yeah,
Is that what the pants do?
Yes,
yeah.
in a spiritual, like quasi kind of like way. Like, so the little girl with leukemia delivers the package to Joan of Arcadia because she was like, oh, these turned up on my door, and that's how they that's not how they meet for the first time, but that's how they get talking.
Yeah, and then but the pants don't cure her leukemia.
No, the girl dies, and the pants do not cure, but they do bring that up, I think. Did they? I can't remember. Anyway, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 2, Sisterhood Rising. takes place 4 years later, and I believe is based on the fourth book.
It's a mishmash of all.
Right, okay. So it's 4 summers later.
Sorry, the last act is the fourth book.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. We'll talk about that.
Really?
So it is, and it's more or less the same format. It's a few years later, and all the girls have sort of grown up in their lives. The storylines, like the pants cross to each other again, and the storylines are that Ugly Betty is starring in a play.
She's not an actress.
Gilmore Girls is now in love with someone else who she sees in an art class and draws him naked.
And he disappears halfway through the movie.
Where does he go?
I don't know, man. We did.
I don't know if we missed the scene or if they just. Or if it was,
Gossip Girl is the most interesting story arc of the movie. For some reason, she goes to an archaeological dig somewhere, and then decides to go see her grandma, and like neither story really wraps up or comes from anywhere. It's like they needed a fifth character almost to.
Yeah.
And who am I missing? Joan of Arcadia is, what's she doing? Oh, she has a pregnancy scare with her new boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, I'll just briefly explain the last half of the movie, which should have definitely been
generous.
Probably the last half an hour of the movie, which should have been the entire.
It was a
movie,
2-hour movie.
Is Gilmore Girls' sister, Pretty Little Liars, steals the pants from her and takes them to Greece, and then loses the pants, and so all the Sisterhood go to Greece, which is ridiculous because it's a pair of freaking pants.
They're magic. They established over 4 hours, AJ, that they're magic pants.
Oh, by the way, these are 2-hour movies.
I like how Gilmore Girls just says. We'll go to Greece. I'll find the pants.
So they go to Greece.
It's a whole country.
And look for the pants while she also finds her previous flame from the first film, and my goodness, that would have been a better sequel. Like, why are we watching the same movie twice with this like half an hour better idea tacked on at the end?
It could have been, both of the movies could have been just like a 10 episode series. I think that would have been way better, because at least you could like swallow the show like in bite-sized portions rather than just being forced to watch this very slow paced, torturous movie.
Did you not like the movies?
Okay, so should we all talk about what we thought of the movies?
Okay, who wants to start? I've been talking for too much.
Richard.
I didn't like them.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Richard.
What?
I enjoyed the second one more because
you watched it?
Because I watched it.
Okay, before you carry on, Richard.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You guys. I've seen you watch a couple of the movies now. This is like the second podcast with me. But you guys are very bad at watching movies.
We're very liberal with the term watching.
You guys are like on your phones. You're not like paying attention. I'm here to like...
Dave actually instituted a phones down rule for the second film, which he immediately regretted to the point where he had nothing to do and started covering his body in hand sanitizer.
And then sunscreen.
Which is what Dave does, I guess, when he's bored.
I was so bored, and then I
was pulling out my pockets to look for lint to play.
I was ripping up a piece of paper, as I do, and Dave was covering his body in lubricant.
Is that just because we're millennials?
Yeah, I know. Maybe we should just #look up.
Yeah. And watch Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the first movie, I don't think any of us really watched it. Yeah, you watched it. Okay, I'll give that to you. But I can't add anything to that movie.
Well, okay, so the thing is, like,
I can't review it.
Do you guys have a favourite storyline?
No.
Because Joan of Arcadia's was my favourite in both films.
Yes.
And so I remember her storyline well from the first film with the little cancer girl.
Yeah.
And then I enjoyed her pregnancy scare, and then it kind of she just became an accessory to Ugly Betty's.
Her pregnancy scare, she breaks up with her boyfriend, and then she finds out she's not pregnant, and then doesn't want to get back together with him.
Yeah. And
it's not really clear why it was an issue or what was going on. And so that kind of put me off. My least favourite character is Gossip Girl, who spends both movies having hot people problems that can easily be solved because she's hot.
Yeah.
That's like in the first movie, her central conflict is that she is a 18-year-old girl who's after her 20-year-old coach who can't date her because he's her coach for soccer. And
I don't remember
but
any of that either.
like that's their struggle is that they're attracted to each other. It's not like she likes him and he doesn't like her back. You know, it's nothing like that. It's just I can't be with you because I'm slightly older than you. And yeah, they're just that they make out and they're very attractive. They're both very attractive, and I'm not bitter.
What other hot people problems are there, AJ? What other problems do you just don't care about?
Just anything to do with like
someone being attracted to you.
Well, the case as I was saying with Gossip Girl, it's like they are both. There's, as I said, there's not like a chase. There's not a I really like you, and the other one's like you know, she's not trying to convince him to love her, which would be a fool's errand, but still an interesting story, right? They're just both attracted to each other, and they try to play it off like it's this Romeo and Juliet. Oh, we can never be together, but it's like, oh, you could. In fact, at the end of the movie, he's like, "Come see me in a couple years," and it's like, oh, okay.
And the worst part is Richard and I don't remember any of that.
I was so uninvested in her storyline in the first
exactly.
one. I remember Joan of Arcadia's. I remember the Gossip Gilmore Girls, and I remember Ugly Bees. But because it was hot people problems. I don't care. Anyway, but would you want to know what critics and audiences thought of it?
Oh, I would love to.
Yes, please.
This is actually real interesting.
Yes.
So, Sister of the Travelling Pants, critics score of 77, certified fresh.
What?
On Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
And an
That's
audience
weird.
score of 78.
What?
Can I just say, and I don't... Maybe I'm saying this because I'm not a 12-year-old girl. Maybe I'm saying this because I'm not into the demographic.
Yeah, you just like to date them.
But,
we're high-fiving that, Richard.
But like, I would call... maybe not the second one as much. Like, I would call the first one like a poorly made movie.
Yeah.
Like,
The first one?
Yeah. It's the way it's shot, the way it's directed, the way it's acted, everything is real subpar.
Can you give us some examples?
I can't because I didn't like commit any of these things to memory. Just it's bad acting, and it's like the cutting is really like uni film kind of thing. Like
I never got that vibe. No, I thought the movies looked like good movies.
Right. Well,
if you saw it playing on like at United Video and
Right.
it was the movie that they was playing, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's a real movie.
Right.
Yeah, you'd be like, I might get that out.
I think maybe as well, like the story was very contrived, and I say
What do
that
you
only like it's the hot people problems. It's like people don't these problems aren't like Joan of Arcadia's problem is life threatening, and that's why she's the best one in that movie is because her story is about a girl with cancer, and there's depth to that, and there's complexity to that. Like there's no real reason why Ugly Betty doesn't like her new stepmom. You know, like they don't really. She's fine. She's not like a criminal, you know. She's not like a Cinderella's stepmom. Yeah. She's just different, and she does. And Ugly Betty doesn't like that. But the thing is, because I am someone who can kind of jump into a premise of a movie. If you tell me this is a movie about 4 girls who have a close friendship, and they have a pair of pants they share between them, I can meet that there. You know, I can go like, cool, I'm open to enjoying that movie. I could love that movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't like this movie.
Yeah, I was actually kind of expecting to like these movies.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same. But like, why do you think? Because you guys are both film buffs. I'd consider you guys film buffs.
I think you do.
And watching this movie, all of our attention spans seem to just go really early on in the movie.
Yeah.
So what was it for you guys that like, when did you start switching off? What makes you switch off a movie?
When I didn't believe that these 4 people would be friends. Like, their friendship is... The way they talk to each other is like how you talk to someone you kind of know. Or like you're not... Like, the way us three are like... I want to say best friends, but I feel like I'm probably not your best friend, but you guys are my best friends.
Thank you, AJ.
Thanks, AJ.
and that was a bit, don't worry, listeners. Like, we mock each other, and we, like, give each other crap. And, like, there's not really any boundaries between our friendships, because we know each other, and we know where each other's limits are.
Okay,
There's physical boundaries.
Okay, what are those boundaries? Okay, can you give us some examples of that?
Okay,
then? What are some boundaries that we break?
Dave doesn't like to get wet.
No,
I poured a small amount of water on Dave's chest earlier while watching Sister of the Travelling Pants 2 in an attempt to amuse myself.
Yeah.
And Dave got real sad and took his shirt off and then lathered himself in sunscreen.
Because he doesn't like being wet, but he likes being sticky.
Dave's
natural form is sticky.
Yeah, I prefer being sticky and warm That came out wrong. But I don't know. When the cold water, when you poured it on me, Richard, it shocked me, and I wasn't ready for
your
it.
shirt as well, not your skin. So
Yeah.
you had a wet shirt.
But it's dry now.
It's dry now,
Well,
but
I mean, it's sweaty.
they don't need the listeners don't need to know that
It's his natural state of sticky, dude. It's fine.
What everyone else
This is what I mean. We're like making fun of you right now, Dave, but you're not like mortally offended because we're friends. If I didn't know you well enough, I'd be sitting here watching Richard make fun of you and be like, haha, yeah, Dave, how's work going, Dave? Like, they all talk to each other about how's work going.
Yeah, I like get offended over weird things.
AJ, since you're smaller than me, I really enjoy just tackling you to the ground.
Exactly, and while I don't, I know I don't probably look like I respond to that, I don't have a problem with it. Because I understand that's how you show.
Well, don't tell me that because I don't want to do it to you anymore.
What I'm saying is, I understand that's how you show your friendship and your bond with me.
No, it's just because I'm so close with you now that it's like
exactly.
I wanna.
Exactly. When you just met me, you wouldn't do that to me.
No, but I was thinking about it.
Right, and that's how these girls act with each other. They don't seem close.
You can tell they're all thinking about tackling each other, but there's no tackling in any of these films.
You can tell these are 4 actresses who met each other like 6 weeks before.
Yeah, actually, no. That's a really good point. Is that like they don't have on-screen chemistry?
That's what I'm getting.
Yes, that is a thing.
That's exactly what I'm getting.
Yes, that was something I
actresses just don't have chemistry. It looks like okay. We're doing a film adaptation of a popular, in quotation marks, book series. Let's cast 4 actresses who are leading their own TV shows, and they'll be fine together. No, like that's not how it works. You're going to shove them together.
That's why I think it would have made a better series than
I agree.
than a movie.
Yeah,
because it
you're
felt
working
like
together for longer, and you develop.
It's a character piece, and there's 4 characters who are all pretty similar.
But then the thing is that so much of the movie is them being apart from each other. So you really have to sell when they're together.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah, they don't. That's what I'm getting at.
And anyway, the second film had a critic score of 65.
Oh, what?
And an audience score of 65.
What?
So they had. So what's the interesting point?
Well, it's just interesting that
we all hated the films.
No, so the first one is 77 and 78, and the second one is 65 and 65.
Yeah.
So like that's the most agreement I've ever seen between audience and critics.
Oh.
Mm.
Do you have any like reception notes, like what people really enjoyed about the film?
I could make some up for you.
What did you guys enjoy about the film? Like,
I enjoyed Joan of Arcadia's storylines.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I enjoyed them. I would say I tolerated them.
I enjoyed her first one. I thought this is actually a good movie.
Right.
And then the second one, I was like, okay, yeah, this is a real problem.
I really liked Carmen or Ugly Betty's storyline in the second movie. I thought the idea of like her, but just because it was so cheesy, it was like
I thought it was
she
dumb.
gets a part
but
in the play, just to reiterate.
Yeah, I thought it was dumb, but I was able to follow it.
Kyle MacLachlan was in it, and I like Kyle MacLachlan.
So what happened was Carmen. I'm going to use a proper name because I want to respect the film. But Carmen is
not
a
enough
stage.
to watch it though.
I watched it. I watched a heap of it. Carmen was a stage manager for what was the Shakespearean play?
Yeah, looked like
some Shakespearean play, and her acting mate was like the lead.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm just a stage manager, which is really funny because the first scene that you see between Carmen and her friend.
This is Ugly Betty.
Yeah, Ugly Betty. She's a way better actress than the actress.
Like America Ferrera's a better actress.
Yeah, way better actress. And so when I was watching it, I was like, no, this doesn't work for me. And then it gets the whole thing where she meets a cute dude with an English accent who I thought looked a lot like Professor Brian Cox, who was he does like QI and stuff, and like you can see YouTube videos of him and stuff. Okay. And
a cross between him and Heath Ledger.
Yeah. That's definitely what it was. And so he and her not get together, but like have a little bit of a thing, and then he pushes her out of her boundaries or something and puts her on stage.
He makes her audition for the main role in what Shakespeare play? Couldn't tell you.
But
someone was named Dorcas in it.
Dorcas and Perdica?
Perdica, okay.
Perdica, I don't know.
A stagehand is yelling the title at us. Thank you, stagehand.
But what do you call it?
Stage. Why would we be recording this on a stage? It'd be horrible for sound. Sorry, Dave.
What was I saying?
You like the storyline?
No, yeah. So, Ugly Betty's Carmen or Ugly Betty's audition
Yeah.
was really, really bad. Like, she was
Yeah.
nervous the whole time, and she looked like she didn't want to do it. So I thought, like, directors would pick up on that and be like, no, we're not going to give her a chance. She's a stage manager.
Yeah.
She's not there to become...
Yeah,
she doesn't want to be an actress.
It's all completely realistic up until the point she gets the part.
Yeah, and then she gets the part. She gets the part, and then she's freaking out about it.
Yeah.
But she can easily at that point go, I don't want to have the part. I don't want to do the part. She has, like, the right to do
pull
it.
out of it.
But she doesn't.
Now, I'm going to suggest something that's never before been done in film franchise Fortnights, and it looks like Dave's getting in on it as well. But I real need to go to the toilet, so I suggest we pause.
Okay.
So we'll probably
the
just
Coke?
cut. I put it in the fridge.
Oh.
So we'll probably cut from here, and then when I get back, I'm going to say and pick up from here.
Okay.
And pick it up here. In
Oh.
the time since I went to the toilet, Dave cooked 2 steaks and ate one of them. Dave, there's a fly back to land your Coke. Sorry, I said your Coke.
What were we talking about?
Sister of the Traveling Pants.
Was it...
Really? I thought we were talking about AJ's love life.
I thought we were talking about...
AJ, where is your love life right now?
I thought we were talking about the Godfather trilogy. Is that not the French? Oh, never mind. Okay.
Anyway, so
That's
let's move
basically
on to...
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
We just finished talking about the audience critic scores.
Okay,
and
sure.
what we all thought of them. Now, out of all the girls, who do you guys think is the most attractive?
Oh, can we not turn it into that? Like,
Okay,
then we're
look.
just like trivializing who they
We're
are.
3 straight white males.
Dave's not white.
I'm not white.
What? Just throw it out there and we can move on.
Oh,
Okay.
This has to be-
Gossip Girl's the hottest, but Gilmore Girls is the one I'd want to take out to dinner.
Dave?
I don't.
See, AJ made his still chivalrous.
Okay.
Chivalrous.
I liked Blake Lively because I like Blake Lively in general.
Yeah, I was a fan of Gilmore Girls, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Blake Lively, doesn't do it for me.
Okay, and that's the end of that segment.
That's all we need to say. There's nothing bad. Like, it's fine. They cast these women because celebrities are attractive.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's gonna come up.
They
Okay.
also had their own shows, and they thought
Yeah.
that would be a lot of pull factor. That's where I think
There probably was. I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because the cast is like 3 of them. It's and Alexis Bledel, so she was the big one.
Okay, question for you guys. With Sisterhood of Traveling Pants, when you were like young kids, when was the first time you heard of the movie Sisterhood of Traveling Pants?
Pretty sure I saw the trailer in the cinema at a different movie.
I was flipping through a Star Video Shop brochure of upcoming movies to rent this month, and I remember seeing the poster, which is the back of a girl's pants with Sister of the Traveling Pants written on it, and like a sticky photo of the 4 girls sticking out of her pocket.
Did you guys used to read those brochures?
Yeah,
like,
man.
heavily?
Yeah, man.
I used to cut the pictures out and stick them on my wall if I liked them.
Yeah, I used to
nice.
get real excited about you reading the plots of upcoming movies and stuff like that.
Yes! Oh, that was so much fun.
Because that's how I used to find out about movies.
Yeah. Yeah, it's same, dude. Totally.
Yeah, because you think about it now, it's like I'll know about a sequel 3 years before it's
Yeah.
even filmed.
Yeah.
And then back then it's like, oh my god, this comes out in a few weeks.
I remember reading in a K-Zone magazine, which for international viewers is a young, probably aimed towards young boys kind of magazine. I remember reading...
I was pretty like middle of the road.
Sure, okay.
There were like girls and boys stuff in there.
I guess I say that because they were like real girly magazines.
Like
that's,
Barbie.
Yeah, that's a product of society and not necessarily indicative of who would enjoy the magazine itself. There's a fly, oh my gosh.
K-Zone, I think I was, between the age of like 8 and 13
Yeah,
is when I really enjoyed those magazines.
But I remember reading that Shrek 2 was coming out in that. So, there you go. Anyway, when did you first hear of Sister of the Traveling Pants?
I think I heard it the same thing, like from like a United Video brochure, and you just see it, but it's also like it was one of those movies where you just kept on hearing it being referenced like throughout your life. You're like, and it was never like, oh, I'm all of my friends are a big fan of Sister of the Traveling Pants.
Yeah,
it was like you'd go to the library and you'd see Sister of the Traveling Pants on the DVD shelf.
Yeah, where there's like 30 DVDs.
Yeah, but that one always stood out, it's because I thought when I was a kid, I thought Sister of the Traveling Pants was an adventure movie with pants
Yeah.
that travelled places. And
Yeah.
it wasn't
Like the Jackie Chan movie, The Tux.
Yes! No! Now...
What? No, it kind of is the Jackie Chan movie, The Tux. Both are like an item of clothing that
Both have an Asian guy in it.
inhibit special powers. Like,
Yeah, Tokyo Drift is in this movie as well.
oh yeah, yeah.
Or Westworld. He was in Westworld as well.
Yeah. You can, either one, man.
Either
Okay, so...
No, I want to hear some more. So, comparisons of the Tuxedo
Oh, yeah,
movie.
yeah, okay.
Do you know what? I haven't seen The Tux.
What?
I just know it's
What
premise.
is it? It's called The Tuxedo, though.
Yeah, Tuxedo.
Yeah,
And
There
it's
you
all
go.
based around the insect, the water strider, and the dude's name, the dude who gives Jackie Chan the tuxedo,
Yeah.
his name is Walter Strider.
Wait. Is Colin Mockery at the start of this movie? I think I've seen a bit of the tuxedo.
What
and Colin
what
Mockery's at the start.
what occupation does Jackie? Oh yeah, okay. What happens with Colin Mockery at the start?
Yeah.
What happens?
Colin Mockery's like an untrustworthy figure. I think he like lets him know where the tuxedo is or something like that. Do you know how hard I'm trying to remember right
No,
now?
I think. Oh, I
Do
don't
you
even
want
know.
to
If
quickly
he was in there.
Google?
The very first scene is a dude drinks water, and it's got some
I have
kind of
seen-
feature where the water, like when you drink the water, it sucks all of your water out and
Right.
it turns into dust.
I have seen spatterings of the tuxedo.
It's a great film. You should really check it out. It's way better than Sisterhood of Traveling Pants.
Are you sure though?
I think the rating will be lower, but I had a lot more fun as a 12-year-old boy watching that than as a 24-year-old man
Well,
watching.
let's talk about that's just the thing, is obviously we're not in the demographic, and in between when Richard went to the toilet and you made your steak, I was talking to our friend Jess, who's in the room but shall not speak because she's not a guest star on this podcast. Jess.
Why are you
and-
so angry all
I
of a
feel
sudden?
like you were trying to get... the Tuxedo gallery owner, Colin Mockery.
Gallery owner, yeah, he's not a named character.
Nice.
But she was saying that as a 11-year-old girl, when this movie came out, she loved it, and of course you would.
Yeah.
Like it's a movie I would imagine.
I like that you telling her not to speak was you trying to get a reaction out of her.
And I'm not gonna get one.
No.
Because she doesn't want to be on the podcast. Although keep an eye out for a possible podcast with her in the future. You know?
Yeah, no, she'll be on it.
There is no Jess. There is no Jess, guys.
Did you just drink steak juice off your plate?
Yes, I did. But you didn't need to tell anyone that.
How else is he going to get the steak juice?
All right,
He's not going to put it in a cup.
that's true.
There's just double
That's when it
handling.
gets gross, eh?
Yeah. So, okay, so something we haven't spoken about, which is kind of, you'd think would be a big part of the film, but it isn't, is the pants have rules.
Of course, I forgot completely about this because it never comes up in the second movie.
Yeah, there's... Oh, Dave, you're going to have to wipe that steak juice off our table, mate. You can do that after the podcast. Okay, so there's 10 rules, and so I feel like, we'll go through them, and we'll kind of just talk about each one as it comes up. Just a little...
10 rules?
They add an 11th at the end
That's
of it.
right.
I have a distinct memory when we were watching the first film. Richard, you wrote down those rules because you had this... You just had this look in your eye like, this is going to be important. Very important. And you were very tedious about writing down all the rules. Did you ever once have to look at the rules for the second movie?
No, the rules mean nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, rule number 1. You must never wash the pants.
Gross.
Gross.
No, I heard with denim, you don't necessarily have to wash them.
That's actually true. But then, like, fucking in the sequel...
Did you really have to include the fucking in that sentence just then?
I was annoyed about it.
It's a sentence
In the sequel, Gossip Girl sends the pants covered in archaeological dust.
Yeah, international.
No way, internationally. There's no way they'd get through customs.
That was after 2001 as well.
Yeah, it's
what,
cool now.
What would have
these...
happened is they would have been like, oh, we can't really send this. It's got a bit of dirt, and she would have said, no, you don't understand, customs officer. We have a set of rules about his pants, and you'll never guess what the first rule is. You can't wash them.
Yeah.
And they're like, I understand completely. My apologies, Blake Lively. Let's send these pants on through.
This probably isn't Anthony.
Who do you think was the smelliest character? Which of the characters do you think the other characters were?
Oh, Joan of Arcadia.
no.
Is the smelliest one.
Oh, I would say Ugly Betty.
No, she smells like fruits and perfume. Joan of Arcadia is the smelliest one.
Yeah, she would probably smell like Doritos
Okay,
and
yeah,
old
you're
couch.
Okay, so this...
Her mum's cigarettes.
Is your mum even in the movie?
Yes, she dies. Does she die?
They've all got mummy issues.
Someone dies in every movie.
Yeah, a lot of mummy issues, but not many daddy issues.
Yeah, because women are defined more than what a man thinks of them.
Hey, I retract my statement. That was a horrendously out of line statement.
They have daddy issues.
Oh yeah,
Ugly Betty has daddy issues. Gossip Girl's daddy dies.
Oh yeah, Blake Lively's one.
No, the Gossip Girl's daddy is in the movie. He hasn't died.
Her mummy dies.
Yeah. So he's
Sorry,
got a mummy.
apologies. But she does have daddy issues in the second film with her daddy.
Yeah, Gossip Girl's dad is actually played by Gossip Girl in real life dad. Gossip
Is that why he was so bad at acting?
Gossip Man. I picked up
Because it was like Gossip Girl was talking to a plank of wood at one point.
Yeah. Sisterhood of the Plank of Wood. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
My other favourite alternate title was Sisterhood of the Travelling Match Cuts. Because that's how in the first film, that's how it like transitioned from scene to scene.
What about the Sisterhood of the Traveling Bands, where they just get in the car and just say really loud?
That would be an awesome movie.
What do you reckon of Sisterhood of the Traveling Panties?
You can never watch the band.
Never watch them.
and then one of Joan of Arcadia's big thing in the sequel is that she gets her period.
That's so bad.
Nah,
who do you think left the skinnies? Who do you think? Why do you think there's a stain on the?
It's Gilmore Girls, dude. No, she's a shitter, dude.
Gilmore Girls.
Definitely.
No,
she's
she's
the
not.
one you least expect, man.
Gilmore Girls has no bodily functions.
No, I think it would be Gossip Girl because she's like the athlete, so she would the one who would have the most. If these were dudes, I'd also talk about this, guys. Like, I just want to make that a point. Like, I just like talking about skid marks. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah, of course.
It's,
Yeah. So number 2 is...
We have a certified girl in the room. As soon as she gets offended, then we'll know. Like, I think she's a good benchmark.
We really should stop using her as a benchmark.
Yeah. So rule number 2 is you must never double cuff the pants. It's tacky.
What does that mean?
It's when you like... now, we might need to double check with the girl in the room, but it's when you like roll the cuffs up, right?
Okay, before we go on about...
Twice? Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Before we go on about how tacky that is, can we just talk about how tacky the pants looked in the second
Oh my god.
Who embroidered, like, stuff and patches on the pants? It looked so bad and so tacky.
Yeah. And
you would think that one of the rules would be do not alter the pants. Like, surely by the very nature of them being magic in their design, altering them would surely be a
so
be
it's
a
not
sin.
an official rule, but they talk about it that you have to like write something good that happened to you on one league and then something else in the other league. And it's like, but they embroider all this shit on and it looks tacky. And the girl in the room also pointed out that they're not even flattering pants.
Yeah, they are in the first one. In the second one, it's like, oh, I wouldn't wear them. And I've got no fashion sense. Like, you know, like it's kind of it's like when you did you guys have heaps of posters on your wall? Or like movie posters?
Yeah.
Like, as I got older, I was like, oh my gosh, I hate all these posters. They were like magazine clippings, as I mentioned before. And now, you know, I still have posters in my room, but they're more they're more like, they're like, I don't know, more, I feel like a wanker saying this. But they're more based around like art. They're not like things I've cut out crudely with scissors out of an Empire magazine.
I never thought that like a cut of jeans would age so badly.
I never thought that I would notice it.
Yeah, because now everyone like rocks skinny jeans. Skinny jeans is so in right now that back in 2008, the only people that wore skinny jeans were people that were like emos or really just
and
rock stars.
These aren't emos.
These aren't emos. These are girls.
And
they're normie girls.
They're normie girls. So, rule number 3 is you must never say the word fat, P-H-A-T, while wearing the pants. You must also never think to yourself, I am fat, while wearing the pants.
Are they both P-H-A-T?
No.
So the second one's F.
Yeah.
Do you know what PHAT stands for?
What?
Pretty hot and tempting.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I doubt it.
It does.
No.
It does.
I'd say that's a backronym.
What do you mean a backronym?
Backronym is when when a word came first and you reversed an acronym out of it.
Okay, wait, can you read rule number 3 to me again?
You must never say the word fat, P-H-A-T, while wearing the pants. You must also never think to yourself, I am fat, F-A-T, while wearing the pants.
You must never think to yourself. Well, guess what you're going to do? Every one of those girls has broken rule number 3, I guarantee it. Because if you say, don't think I look fat, what are you going to think?
I think you look fat.
It's like the Inception thing where he's like, don't think about a pink elephant. You can't make one of the rules, don't think something.
I'm just interrupting.
Urban Dictionary is not a reliable source.
It's enough of a...
Dave looked up pH fat and on Urban Dictionary.
I got told this by my RE teacher when I was year 10, and I've known this. This is a fact. Fat.
By your
means-
religious education teacher.
My religious education teacher told me that fat means pretty hot and tempting. Mr. Kennedy, but also Mr. Kennedy
lied to me.
Yeah.
What was your RE teacher doing on Urban Dictionary?
No, it wasn't on.
All right, what's rule number 4?
So no, that's a good body positive kind of thing. It's like these pants are a positive thing.
Right.
Number 4 is you must never let a boy take off the pants, although you may take them off yourself in his presence. That's
I like
an interesting
that rule. I
'cause
like it. That's my favourite rule.
They all give Gossip Girl a look as if like, oh, you slut. But you're gonna have lots of boys take these off. But then it never really comes up. Eh?
No, it doesn't, and that's a shame because I think that's the most like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like that makes sense to me as a rule. The other ones are so silly. The other ones are like so like
arbitrary.
Don't do this. Don't do that. This one's like, okay, here's a challenge for
it's like
the
keeping
pants.
the pants pure.
Yeah.
It's like because it's like the pants are about being positive about the.
It's the pants are about. Like, when you get an argument about the pants. No, the pants are about being positive.
Well, because the pants are all about like being happy with yourself and stuff like that, and then so it's like you're not. Yeah, you're not submitting yourself to a man. If you want to take the pants off for him, you can do that, but he's not allowed to take that from you.
Yeah, one of the only woman positive messages of these films.
Fun fact, this has the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants has the third highest female percentage for audience ticket sales.
What's the highest?
Magic Mike XXL.
That's disappointing. I like how it's like with the Sister of the Traveling Pants, it's like, oh, that's cool. With Magic Mike XXL, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like that's what's second?
I think it might be 50 Shades.
Oh, jeepers! We're not doing as well as I thought we were going to do.
Yeah, women are horny. So Sister of the Traveling Pants is then the most. Okay, we're getting a disapproving look from the female room. I'm retracting my statement.
Some women are horny.
Yeah, women are not sexual creatures at all. They don't enjoy it. They do it as a service to men.
She's laughing. It's okay, everybody.
Yeah. So, if you enjoy sex and you're a female, that's bad.
Okay, what's the next rule?
Rule 5. You must not pick your nose while wearing the pants. You may, however, scratch casually at your nostril while kind of picking. Well, really kind of picking. Yeah, it's dumb. It's like it's a joke. It's it's a rule, but then they retract it within the same rule.
Okay.
So, number 6, you must follow the procedures for documenting your time in the pants. That's what the aforementioned riding on one leg.
That's cool. I like that they set letters and that's sort of the point of the pants.
Well, that's actually rule 7 is you must write your sisters throughout the summer, no matter how much fun you're having without them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So each time they send the pants, it's accompanied by a letter, and sometimes written like
in a crayon and big caps.
Because obviously they're like, I've been up to fuck all. Yeah. How do I make it look like I've been doing heaps of shit? So she just writes real big.
Yeah.
And fits 6 words on the page.
All right.
Oh, Dave's forgotten that he put a pizza in the oven.
What's rule number...
Rule number 8 is you must only possess the pants for the specified length of time before passing them on to your sisters. That's 1 week. Failure to comply will result in a severe spanking upon our reunion. I was disappointed by the lack of spanking in the films.
What? Yeah. Spanking was a thing?
Yeah. It never came up.
So, we've talked a little bit on this podcast before about Chekhov's gun, and all of these are Chekhov's gun. Chekhov's gun, for those who don't know, is basically a rule in screenwriting which says don't mention something if it's not going to come up later on. Yeah,
which is the mere fact that they assign rules is a Chekhov's gun. Oh, David!
What just happened?
Oh my god!
Okay, I'm going to try and explain what just happened.
Why would you do that?
So Dave came out of... We need to explain this so the audience can laugh at this. Dave just got the pizza out of the oven on the oven tray, very proudly held it up in the air, sort of almost boasting the fact that it was stuck to the dish, to the oven dish. Then he decided to play the fate even more and held the oven dish upside down, and now our couch is covered in pizza. The one girl in the room is stifling laughter, trying her best not to make any sound.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
The pizza's ruined.
No,
the couch is
and
ruined.
this is hot
The
as well.
podcast is ruined.
Oh no.
And now we're never going to find out rule number 9.
No, what is
No,
Anyway.
no. I'm sorry.
Don't bring that.
Hold
No!
this.
It's hot. I'm not holding it.
I love when we do storyline podcasts with you, David. You put it down on his lap.
Dave, you didn't even cut it in half. Into pieces, dude.
Oh my gosh. This
All
is
the
a
meat's
mess.
gone off the pizza, guys.
The one girl that is now cleaning. Oh god, this is getting so sexist. This was supposed to be a
How
bloody...
did it end up like this?
Sorry, Jess.
This was supposed to be a celebration of feminist film.
No, but you're not. You're the guys turning into it. Jess is just really like good. Thank you, Jess. I'm sorry.
Spankings. Should there have been one in the film?
Not necessarily, but if not, they shouldn't have brought it up as a rule.
Okay. Number 9. You must not wear the pants with a tucked-in shirt and belt. See rule number 2.
Shut up. Like, you
I
need
thought.
3
No,
of these
is
rules.
that okay? Jess, please join the podcast. Tucking in your shirt and your belt, like in your t-shirt and belt. That's a cool thing now, eh?
That's cool now.
Yeah, that's cool now. That is so cool. I see.
Just had a
We'll
female
cut that
voice
out.
on there.
It felt so wrong,
Yeah.
but it was like, yeah, good on
But
you
it was
though.
so right.
Is that the first time a female
That's the
spoke
first
on
time
the
a
podcast?
female's almost on Cult Pop Shit, but not quite.
Hey.
She's about the 4th female to appear on Cult Pop Shit. Anyway,
Number 10 is, remember, pants equals love. Love your pals, love yourself. So, yeah, again, just a positive thing.
yeah.
And then they add an 11th rule, because Ugly Betty is in dire need, like her mum, fucking dad's getting remarried and she doesn't like her mum. And so they... I just can't get over the pizza thing.
Focus.
And they... It's not her turn for the pants, but they're like, oh, we'll add a rule 11. The sister that's most in need of the pants can now, get the pants. Even if it's not scheduled.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a good rule, but you don't need half of these rules. Half of them feel like they fall into the same umbrella.
Well, okay, so they make these rules and then they never bring them up.
Yeah.
And then the big payoff of the film is adding an 11th rule.
I mean, they probably come up in the books, right? I'm sure in the books, like...
There's spankings galore. There's one every chapter.
Chapter 2, the 3rd spanking. I feel like, and maybe putting all the rules...
Had picked your nose several times when I realised you wore the pants.
I feel like bringing these rules up in the movies might have been like fan service to the books, just so you know we're not skimping on the rules, book readers. But how many book readers are there of Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants?
Jess, was Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants as a book pretty popular with when you were young?
I think so.
You think so?
Did you ever read them?
I read the first one.
Is it good?
Yeah, I remember.
Do they spank each other in it?
Oh, JJ!
No, I'm asking for Chekhov's gun, not for any other reason.
Not for sexual reasons.
She says no. Okay, well, guess the
Do you guys
author of
remember
the
the
book.
Jacqueline Wilson books?
Yeah, I do.
They were real good, eh?
I never read them, but I remember like seeing them in the young
Yeah.
teen section when I was
Yeah.
reading Mad magazines.
I
Well,
want
we
to.
talk about franchises a lot on this podcast. We talk about titles a lot on this podcast. What do you think of the title? Would you have called it anything else?
I was thinking about that. I don't really have anything to say. I would have maybe called the second one "Forever Blue," like as a subtitle,
Right.
but not
Well,
really.
would you have called the film anything different?
I would have called it Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants 2. All grown up, or the college years, or university days, or love strikes twice.
Is Daze spelled D-A-Z-E?
Yeah, dude. And there's a hazy cloud underneath the Sisterhood of the Travelling
University
Pants.
haze.
University hazing.
Do you,
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
Someone getting spanked.
do you have anything?
Yeah,
Do you have
finally
anything,
give the spanking into it.
do you have anything to say about the titles, Richard?
I don't know. It's almost become like a meme.
What?
Like, it hasn't, but like the idea of a film being called Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants is such like...
It feels like it was ripe for a meme, but never really became.
Yeah.
What about the movie The Sisterhood of the Travelling Cramps? That could be a different...
People just eating right before they go swimming.
That or there's another one for that, isn't there, James? There's the Travelling Cramps.
Oh, I didn't even think of it.
I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Bechdel test. I want to talk about the fact that these are female-driven movies for females, in the words of a.
Oh my god, the girl in the room is just shitting herself, laughing.
She's choking on Dave's pizza.
5 girls, 1 flat,
Right, because they all
sync up.
one menstrual cycle.
But then they wouldn't be travelling.
No, they're on a road trip.
Yeah, they'd have to be on a road trip.
That's good. I would watch this with the Traveling Cramps.
That's not a bad idea.
It's like a road movie with girls, but then they all sync up, and then they'd all just get real mad at each other, and then they'd resolve it the next day when they all stop having their period.
You're right, Jess.
I like how
that's a legitimate good idea for a movie. Like, maybe don't call it Sisterhood of the Traveling Cramps.
What about Sisterhood of the Traveling Tramps?
Oh, what are we doing here?
What about Sisterhood of the Traveling Crabs?
Everyone just walking sideways.
No,
And their main problems
That's
in front of
the
them.
crabs you go to.
Yeah.
Sisterhood.
This movie this podcast got so much better after
Crabhood of the Traveling. They're all crabs in the movie.
They're following that journey.
They're hermit crabs, and they find one shell that fits all 4 of them.
And one of them has a Jamaican accent. And like they all have different accents as well. I think
They'll have different body types, Dave. All the crabs.
They're all different types of crabs.
Well, no, they have to be hermit.
I know, but like one of them is not a hermit crab. It's like, yeah, well, how's that shell gonna fit me?
And it does, Richard.
Even though it's like one of those like flat crabs.
And you know what I really love is in the sequel, the shell's being bedazzled. It's got a little mirror like stitched on the side.
And one of the crabs meets like a little plankton who's got leukemia.
One of them's a lobster.
That's the best of the stories. Yeah, the shell fits all, even if you don't need it.
Oh my gosh, the crabhood of the travelling shell. Okay.
So that's AJ's continue the franchise.
No, listen, before we go to continue the franchise, what do you guys think these films promote? And sorry to completely turn the podcast from our laughing into this, but do you guys think these movies promote like positive messages for women, and particularly young girls, who are probably the main demographic?
Well, okay. I think that's where like what makes Amber Tamblin's Joan of Arcadia's storyline, the first one's so good, is that it's about strength and but whereas everyone else is like, oh, boys.
Well, okay. Here's what I noticed, and it's I would say you could say Ugly Betty's isn't about boys. It's about her dad.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I guess that's a man.
Yeah.
But
I didn't remember hers as well, but
Yeah. But in the first film, 2 of the 4 girls' storylines are about, I love this guy. Like, how am I going to get this guy? And in the second one, 3 of the girls' stories maybe not revolve around it, but are about a guy.
Each of like 3 of the 4 stories in the second movie. At one point, I thought all of them was like, they could resolve all of this with a thrisome.
Well,
it was always 2. It was always 2 people
3
after
love
one.
triangles.
There's 3 love triangles in the which is like hilariously lazy writing.
I know. It's like don't make me remember 9 characters.
Yeah, like I don't like the fact that we're expanding beyond the core sisterhood here into like all these other
when they introduce Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah. Is she going to be like the generation 2 of the sisterhood?
And she turned out to be the villain.
And she took the pants
She
and
lost
them
the pants!
which should have been what the second movie was all about. Because we've already the thing is, we've already seen the template work in the first one. So in the second one,
I think is a pretty strong.
Sure, but in the second one, you lose the pants. The second one should be about them trying to find
and
them.
realizing that the pants were inside them the whole time.
I've been really struggling with the toilet lately, guys. And I haven't been able to find the pants. But I'm trying to flush the toilet, but there's this denim keeps clogging.
This is one of the Travelling Pants 2, the ultimate wedgie, because the pants are inside them all along.
To be fair, though, you know what I mean.
My glasses have fogged up from how much I'm
but
laughing.
like it would be a good thing that like these miracles weren't caused by the pants. It's about how you felt wearing the pants.
Yeah. No, but the pants are magic.
Yeah, but the pants are magic, and they did kill that little girl's.
At any point in the movies, was there a moment where there was like a glittery noise when the pants appear. Because I feel that's what the movies were
I
missing,
heard
so.
it, but I don't know if it was in the movie.
Because there should have been a couple of shots where it just shows the pants and like a glittery noise.
Like,
I don't.
or like
No, the pants should have had a celebrity voice voicing them.
or like the end of
The
the
pants should
second.
have narrated.
The end of the second movie, when they're all sitting on the rock and they realise that, you know...
Oh yeah, they don't find the pants at the end of the movie, by the way.
This summer of the pants would be their last. It should, like, pan over to the pants watching them and walking away, turning their collar up and being like, my work here is done.
and Grace, I'd love to see it just like them looking into the distance and they pan to the side and they just hear a porpoise just stuck in the pants.
Oh, crab! Sitting up the crab lid!
No, they did pants to the side, and there's like a seal like dying because its head stuck in the pants, and it's just like the pants just killed a seal. Like
Yeah, and then a freeze frame, and it's like the pants never recovered. The pants were never found.
The movie starts in media res, and you see the pants and floating in the ocean. Then it stops, and there's a record scratch. Like, bet you're wondering how I ended up in this situation. And the pants are voiced by Bruce Willis or like who's a good celebrity voice?
Samuel L. Jackson.
And then you just see.
I bet you wonder how I ended up in this motherfucking situation.
No, they're voiced by the guy from Princess Bride and Toy Story. He plays Rex.
Wallace Shawn.
I bet you're wondering. I can't do that voice
Like
at all.
Gilbert Gottfried. I bet you're wondering!
All right.
I'd love to see that just at the very while that's playing, just like the tip of an AK-47, just sifting through the water, picking up the pants, and then you just realise they're in Somalia now.
And the
Somalia
other girls aren't in it. It's the story of the pants travelling throughout like Somalian drug lords and pirates, and all of them having good luck from wearing the pants. By the way, we need to still dwell on Gilbert Gottfried playing the pants, because the more I think about that, the funnier it gets. Oh man. Okay, no, never mind.
Yeah, or like the pants travel through time now.
Sister of the time travelling pants.
Oh my god, that's amazing! Oh my god,
George Washington.
Abe Lincoln was wearing the pants
It's
when
like
he
the
freed
Pick of
States.
Destiny.
Yeah,
Because have you seen Pick of Destiny?
Yeah, I have ages ago.
So Pick of Destiny is about a guitar pick that every rock and roll god has owned this pick, and it's like from Satan's horn.
Yeah.
Like these pants are from the pelt of Satan's goat legs. they give you good luck in exchange for your soul when you put them on.
Oh my god, Sisterhood of the Time Traveling Pants is a fucking incredible idea.
It's the natural progression.
What do the pants do? What's the magical time traveling powers the pants have?
They're just good luck, but they've passed on from... When you look back through history, you'll be like, this picture of Abraham Lincoln, he's wearing the pants. Then you go back another generation, it's like, oh my gosh, this Thomas Edison is wearing the pants in this one.
Yeah, they were, or you could do it through a family, they passed down from generation to generation.
I love it.
That's a great idea.
I love it if they just wore the pants and it just took them a year back.
Yeah.
And they just had to relive the year.
Yeah, that's involuntary time travel. You put the pants on and you're like, whoop, and now you're in the prehistoric age, and you're like, there's dinosaurs everywhere.
But how would the pants survive? How would the pants survive? They just keep going more back and back in time.
But where were the pants born? Well, who created the pants?
The pants are a time paradox, which were given to someone from somewhere else, and then that person went to the future and gave it to the person who gave it to them.
Yeah.
So they never began.
Yeah.
It's a time loop.
Okay,
what's next?
Well, that's
You guys feel real sweaty right now?
Dude, I'm so sweaty.
Okay, what are you guys' continuations of the franchise? And it can't be Crab Hood and Time Traveling Pants were a group one. What did you have? What did you come prepared
Okay,
with?
here's what I thought.
Okay.
My continuation of the franchise is called Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and it's a ground up new adaptation from the book. But here's the thing. I don't want to see the first book adapted. I want to see the whole series adapted. I want to see a Forrest Gumpian journey of when the pants first had their inception with the girls to when they die. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because watching Sister of the Traveling Pants, I think before I saw it, I assumed it was going to be over a few years. And because it's not, it's kind of I'm not getting a wide enough spectrum of these girls, their friendship, and what the pants did, what they meant, how it all ties together, how their lives developed. You know what I mean? I want a 3-hour, which is only 1 hour more than the movies they are at the moment, Forrest Gump-esque, Benjamin Button-esque, thing that follows the pants.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's what I want. Well, that's what I think, not necessarily what I want. I don't know about
Okay.
that.
Well, I'll go next. So my one is called Brotherhood of the Travelling Denim Jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a gender-swapped reboot.
Mm-hmm.
And it would star Ricky Ullman, Dylan Sprouse, Shia LaBeouf, and Kyle Massey.
What's Ricky Ullman? Is he
So-
Phil of Future?
Yeah, so it would star Phil of the Future, Cody, like Zach and Cody,
This is a Disney Channel original movie.
Even Stevens, and Corey in the House.
How do they all know each
Is
other?
Shia LaBeouf not, like, transcended his Even
No,
Stevens
he's Even
role?
Stevens.
Okay.
How do they all know?
Has Kyle Massey not transcended Corey in the House? So I remember that show's been Corey in the House, but it's in the house, isn't it?
Corey,
Yeah,
Corey,
it's
That
in
reminds me
Corey
of systemic
in the
racism.
house.
This is my Mandela effect. This is my Berenstain Bears.
Yeah.
Do you remember the party jacket, Richard?
Yes.
We once had something kind of similar to the
Yeah, you're right, actually, yeah.
the Brotherhood of the Denim Jacket.
Yeah. Because there was the party pants before we were there, but then...
Please
So-
explain to me, as the audience surrogate, what is the party jacket?
You want to explain it?
You can. You
Okay.
haven't talked as much.
Oh, thank you.
I can jump in as well.
So we had a party, right? And I brought a denim jacket to the party, and to as a game for the night, you wanted the jacket, but you can only get the jacket if you did something really awesome that pushed you out of your boundaries and really challenged you.
I would never get the jacket.
Yeah, I never got it.
So I and you had to always trump the next thing that happened.
Yeah, so like you would say, I'm going to do this for the jacket, and then everyone would decide if that was better than the last thing.
Yeah, but it's kind of got like muddled after my one, because I set the bar pretty high at the start. I snorted a line of white pepper.
And then someone else got it by getting slapped in the face.
What?
No. So it went from me, what do you call it, snorting the line of white pepper, to another dude eating half a bar of soap.
And he
then,
fucking bitched about it all night.
oh, he complained about it, made it seem so much bad than it was. And I tried some of the soap. I was like, I snorted a line of white pepper, and my eyes went red.
Yeah, but because so he went on about how the soap burned his gums. And it's like, no, it's the fact that you hacked at your gums with a toothpick to try and get it out, and then ate salt and vinegar chips. That's why it's stinging.
This is a good idea for a movie. Can we write this movie?
And then the next one after that was a dude. It was a jacket off.
Yeah.
So two people, the one person challenged
Well,
another
I
person.
did a jacket off once at a party, though.
I
It
think
did not turn well for any of us.
and that was two dudes
So he could.
put the most thumbtacks on their butt in 30 seconds.
And so this was a fan of the podcast, Tyler Brayley, versus this guy called Sam Entwistle, who was this creepy ass dude. And so it didn't.
Don't put him out. He's a really nice guy.
Okay,
He's
but
selling
anyway.
trees right now.
Yeah, he is actually. He's camping out in trees. Good on you, Sam, if you're listening. You're not creepy.
He's not.
Anyway, Tyler. It didn't occur to Tyler that he could stick in more than one at a time. So he went through for 30 seconds was going one, pushing it in, and ow, and then the next one out, whereas the other guy was grabbing five and going bam, slapping his ass
Yeah.
with thumbtacks, and then
He was lining them up on the floor and then just sitting on them at one point. It was just
I wish I was friends with you guys when I was younger. I want to go to these parties, man.
And-
It's masochistic. Like.
and then so that was like real anticlimactic, and so then there was like another dude with like massive hands got to slap these two people in the face as hard as he could.
He slapped Tyler. He first like front slapped him, and then the second was a full
Oh, yeah,
backhand
just
slap.
yeah.
Can you describe the jacket itself to me?
It was
It
a
was just a
denim
denim jacket.
70s jacket that my dad owned. That
And
I
you got
took
to
out.
write your name on it once you got it.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
And there was another. I don't know if it was even for the jacket, but this guy Sam at another party was like, "Oi, who dares me to stick this bottle up my butt?" And everyone was like, "No one." And he was like, "Oh no, someone else." What was it? Someone was like, "Oh, I dare you to do this," and then
I don't think anyone did him. He just wanted.
no, but he was like, "I'll do it."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, who dares me to?" And everyone was like, "Oh, not really." And then he just went to the toilet and came out with a bottle sticking out of his butt.
Going back to the party jacket, I was gonna beat the dude who got double slapped in the face by I almost put my leg on tribute by pouring a glass of boiling hot water on it. Till
That's right.
Till I realized it was either that or heat up a coin and sit on it and get a tattoo. But I didn't want the jacket that much.
Yeah, that's right.
So where's the jacket now?
Tyler or someone probably has it.
Yeah.
Or Josh David.
Yeah, Josh.
Someone
David.
will have it.
Oh man.
But yeah, the year before they had party pants, and it was before we met them.
Right.
Okay, so tell us more about the denim jacket brotherhood.
That was, I don't know, I just wanted to do a wacky list of
Dave,
male TV
What is your continuation of the franchise, Dave?
In terms of that franchise, I went more down the road of just trying to like work with the title.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't really be like a sequel or turn it into a trilogy. But I was thinking of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Ants, and this movie is actually it's a group of really tight ants that have to travel because their original home area gets flooded after a rainy day, and so they have to nomadically move to another area.
Yeah.
But then there's fights within the colony, and they separate off, and there's huge battles, and then they like at one point they meet other insects and stuff, and they have to challenge for areas that they live in, and then they both end up realizing that the colony needs to split for them to survive, because they both have different ideals. That's what the end of the movie is, and it's actually a prequel to A Bug's Life and Ants.
Oh, see, and the Ant Bully.
So
And the Ant Bully.
wait, I've got a small plot hole. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if it's a sisterhood, does that mean they're all girls? But isn't there only one girl in an ant colony, and that's the queen?
I don't know enough about ants to argue with it.
You have completely unfolded.
You could just call it Travelling Ants, I guess, but then it's not really keeping in spirit with continuing
It's the movie about ants.
The Underwood of the Travelling Ants.
Yeah.
What's an Underwood?
Well, no, because the ants live under wood.
Ah, okay. I like this. Thank you. So AJ unfolds and Richard sews it back up again.
Yeah, man.
This is collaboration.
Fun fact about
This is
ants.
how masterpieces are made, guys.
Do you know what's a cool story about ants?
What?
Is scientists had a theory that ants count their steps, and that's how they know how to get to places. So they attached tiny stilts to ants, and they overshot their destination, and that's how they know that ants count their steps.
Wow.
I wonder how ants count. I wonder what...
And there's these little photos of ants with little red stilts on them.
How do ants count? Do you think they count in English?
Yeah, exactly. You'd think they'd use numbers, but it's like some ant form of numbers.
Yeah. Do you know the first evidence of counting is they found a stick, like ancient stick that has 10 notches on each side.
Wow.
So they had to have some way of knowing that was the same amount of notches.
So if you didn't have the stick, were you just useless? Just couldn't
Yeah,
count
well,
at all?
that was maths class back then.
Would you put the stick up to things, or would you put like things up to the stick, like next to each notch, and be like, okay, well, I've filled up all the notches on here, so it's obviously.
Isn't there like an African tribe that only have 3 numbers? And it's like
1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and more than 2.
Yeah, I actually think I've heard that.
Yeah.
The Sisterhood of the Traveling...
Facts. It's just us going around talking about African tribes and ants. We should tour this, guys.
Yeah.
Sisterhood of the Traveling...
Sister-
Brotherhood of the Traveling Pants.
Brotherhood of the Traveling, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants discussion.
Let's take this on the road, boys.
Sisterhood of the Traveling...
Sisterhood of the Raveling Pants.
The Unraveling Pants.
Unraveling Pants.
Where...
It's the same movie, but there's a race against time.
It's just by the end of the movie, they're shorts. And
Yeah.
that's when you have to end it.
Yeah.
When do pants turn into shorts?
Above the knee.
Sisterhood of the...
Because below that they're 3/4 pants.
3/4 pants, yeah. So if you can't see the knee,
Cyst of the Traveling Pants.
just an infected pair of pants.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, look, I know that there's this weird area that everyone keeps on getting like an infection. But I mean, we did make rule
The only
number one,
thing
we
in
can't
between
wash
us,
it.
the only thing we share in common is the pants, so I'm not saying it's the pants.
But we really
I
should
think it's
clean the pants.
Hood of the Traveling Pants? Why would you put a hood on pants?
Sisterhood of the Baffling Pants. And they just continue to amaze.
Well, they were fucking baffling by the second film. Who would wear that?
This was a very silly podcast for a movie that we all really did not like.
This is the second franchise we've done on the podcast that's consisted of only 2 films, and it's far and away better than Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights. We've done a much better job of creating
itself,
a podcast that is entertaining as opposed to our Shanghai Noon one.
Yeah.
At least I think so. From this end, this could be the worst one we've
Okay,
done.
well let's like okay. I want to get a bit meta with you guys. Then let's talk about the format of the show and where you're at now.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think you guys have really improved on?
Well, I think we're starting to watch the same franchises as each other more often now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which you know.
Where do you think you improved between Shanghai Noons and Shanghai Nights to Sisterhood of Trailing Pants?
Oh, this is our 6th franchise that started with an S. Sorry, that's a side note.
Nice. Yeah, I'm asking you. What else?
I think we've got better. This is weird. This is a weird thing to talk about. I don't know. I think Richard and I actually started the podcast when we didn't know each other that well, or at least we hadn't talked to each other in a few years.
Yeah.
So we've definitely got better as friends, and I think that's probably improved.
Yeah, you're hearing the chemistry.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite franchise so far?
Back to the Future.
Yeah, well, in terms of like how much the franchise, but like I love the fact that I've seen all the Freddy vs. Jason films.
Yeah.
Now.
Nice.
Because when I feel like a purist.
Yeah.
You know, they're making Friday the 13th. They're making a new one this year, and it's called Friday the 13th Part 13. And I like that I can have an opinion on that.
Oh, cool.
It was just announced today, and it's like, oh, well, it's not really Part 13 because that's if you're including Freddy vs. Jason and the reboot.
Mm.
I think. You know, was it including Freddy vs. Jason?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, well, anyway, it's like the 13th, and they're calling it Part 13, even though it's like a second reboot.
It is including Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
What's been the worst franchise you guys have watched?
This one.
Really?
No,
The Mummy.
The Mummy was the worst one. Nothing's beaten The Mummy just yet.
Yeah. Like, Freddy vs. Jason was the worst one to watch just because it took up so much of our time. But
If
then the Mummy's
Sisterhood of the
actually
Travelling
worst one.
Pants was like 6 films long, it'd be the worst one. But
Yeah.
because it was 2, we watched one each weekend, and it was fine.
Yeah. Whereas, like, the Mummy was made worse as well. They're only an hour long, but we watched them all starting from like 9 p.m. one night.
Oh, that sounds rough.
And they recorded the podcast. I think, mate, that was probably our first good podcast.
No, I liked our Ghostbusters one. That was before that.
Oh, yeah, it was, I think.
This is your first one, you're thinking about going back, start listening from Ghostbusters. Don't listen to the ones that... That was our fourth one. So...
Yeah, it was Lethal Weapon, Ace Ventura, Shanghai, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a clip of the Ace Ventura, the one with the kid.
Oh, it's so bad, dude.
Oh, it looks so bad.
It's like, I think I said it on the podcast, but it's weird watching a movie now that's badly made. Because there's, like, no excuse for it. Like,
Yeah.
you should just be able to make a better movie than that. Like, you can watch bad movies, but usually you're like, okay, I can understand why you made this, or, like, there are good elements to it. Ace Ventura Jr., you're like, why would anyone fund this? And why would you hire whoever made it? It's
And
not
we
like
couldn't-
shot well.
Yeah.
It's like there's no the color doesn't pop at all.
We couldn't find any information on why it was made either.
Yeah.
Like, why all this time later? What, like, how many years was it later? Like, almost
Almost 10 even.
10, probably, I think over 10. Like, why would you make that movie? We were
Yeah.
just like... What?
Like,
You
yeah,
guys are left dumbfounded.
yeah, there's
There was
no trivia.
there was no rumblings of, like, all the, they're thinking of making a new one. It just turned up.
Yeah,
How hard was it to find Ace Ventura Jr.?
Oh, I was in, like, a 480p stream somewhere on the internet.
yeah. And
So
it's
are you
funny,
saying you guys don't legally watch your movies?
we try to
sometimes
if
do.
possible.
Well, I guess streaming feels less illegal than torrenting.
Because we're only
I don't really
borrowing it.
torrent at all anymore, though.
Yeah. Well, actually, a lot of them have been on Netflix as
Yeah,
well.
that's
Like
true.
Shriek was on Netflix. This was on Netflix.
Yeah, Sisterhood of Travelling Pants is on Netflix, both of them, if you're keen to watch them.
Yeah. Don't. Unless you're a 12-year-old girl, in which case, why are you listening to this?
Yeah, I don't really think that's your...
This is inappropriate.
Yeah. It's not your demographic to be listening to us. I don't really think we talk about stuff that are really interesting to them. And also,
Do you have
what
any other
franchises are you guys looking forward to? Like, which ones do you want to pick out of the random hat?
Oh, I had one before.
Rocky,
That I was like,
yeah.
I really want to do Rocky. Because AJ's never seen it, and I love them.
I'd like to do...
I want to do Rambo.
Yeah, I'd like to do something like... I welcome the ones that are a different type of film. Like, I'd be pretty interested to do Jackass, because they're not story based. They're like stunt based, and seeing if we could talk about Jackass. I'd love to do more horror ones because Richard wouldn't watch a horror movie in any other context.
Yeah, I don't watch horror movies.
So
I want to do Hellraiser now because I feel like we have to.
Yeah, Hellraiser would be really cool. Can I please be part of that one?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
It's 9.
You have to watch 9 films though.
It's becoming 10 this year.
Oh.
There's a 10th one coming out this year.
That reminds me. Are we doing are we doing X-Men next, or are we gonna?
We need to check out dates.
Again?
I think we roll again because so we're going to be doing X-Men to tie in with Logan.
Yeah.
Fans, you have that to look forward to. Okay, so it's currently the 6th. It's the morning of the 6th. Waitangi Day. Happy Waitangi Day. Last week, everyone that listened to us. So it'll be released on the 10th, which means we'll be recording another one
on the 17th. No, they're probably
the
20th.
No, we're recording on like the 25th, 26th.
Okay.
To release. No.
No.
So this gets released on the 10th, so we need to release another on the 24th. So we'll be watching one. Okay, so we need to record one before I go to Australia. Sorry, we're just getting our admin out, fans.
This is even admin. This is just behind the scenes.
Yeah, and then
getting a look inside the franchise studio.
Okay, so whatever. Okay, so we kind of need to record one this weekend as well.
Okay.
And next one, just FYI. And then I get back from Australia, and then one will be released the day after Logan comes out.
I thought we weren't doing that. I thought we were going to release it the next.
This week, that week. Oh no, it'll be the week after. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll franchise roulette now.
Okay.
Record that next weekend, and then.
Let's do that.
So our Logan one will be a week after Logan comes out.
Do you want to explain what franchise roulette is?
So franchise roulette is where we've got a list of almost 300 franchises that we came up with off the top of our heads in no particular order, and we have a random number generator on my phone that we choose to randomly generate.
Okay, and we only have a week to watch these.
Yeah.
So let's hope it's a good one.
Okay, so what's our highest number at the moment? And is Sisterhood still on there?
288. Yes, it is. I will delete that now. So 287.
Okay, generating a random number between 287.
231.
231.
Oh, that was the saddest voice.
It is Happy Feet. Two films. We can do that.
Yeah, okay, easy.
Oh, Happy Feet. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tune in. Oh, cool.
Okay, tune in next time for Happy Feet.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you, Dave.
Sorry,
Dave,
let's read up really quickly. Yeah.
Did
Dave.
you want to... Dave, where can people find you if they enjoyed you?
You can find me on Facebook. I update regularly. Hey, you can check me out if you live in Auckland, New Zealand. You can check me out at on every Tuesday at Doolan's Newmarket. I run a quiz there, 7:30 p.m. It's absolutely free. Heaps of fun, real crazy. What do you guys think of the quiz?
Oh, it's great. We win every time.
So come along.
You want to hang out with me and the boys. The franchise boys.
If you don't count me, dog and the boys.
You're the dog and the boys.
This is our longest film franchise Fortnights episode.
Really?
Yeah.
How long is it?
Well, there was about 5 minutes of dawdle, but it's at the moment 1 hour and 21 minutes.
Oh, nice. Well, anyway, I need to go to the toilet again. So.
Okay. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Go to watch Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yeah, let us know what you thought. Right, leave a comment below. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Bang. Bang. Bang.
Doing it too fast.